If Emerson's American Scholar has been widely read in American high schools and colleges for many, many years, Emerson's Divinity School address has not. If Emerson's American Scholar address has inspired generations to talk about American greatness, and I guess the phrase today is American exceptionalism, Emerson's Divinity School address, I guess, has academically received the equivalent of the brown paper bag treatment. That is, placed in a brown paper bag wrapper under the table, only trot it out and show it to students if and when you're really sure they're ready, and expect to hear from the school board about it. Why? Well, not because it's filled with naughty stuff, but because some of the things that he says in there really go way against the grain of academic institutions and their cultures. It's designed to do that. The address is a historic piece. It really is. And it's unfortunate that in many American literature classes it's just glossed over or just ignored, because it truly is throwing down the gauntlet, the transcendentalists sort of challenging every institution, not just Harvard, not just Harvard's Divinity School, but every institution of higher learning, every institution of governmental authority, if you will. This is, to American philosophy, what Thoreau's civil disobedience is to American politics. It is an in-your-face address designed to really rattle and shake up the powers that be. It was delivered the very next year after the American Scholar. You know, the American Scholar address got pretty good press. I mean, if you wanted to find patriotic stuff in it, you could. If you wanted to find radical stuff in it, you could. So everybody pretty much walked away fairly happy. The people that weren't happy were, of course, the detractors. The people who didn't like transcendentalism to begin with because they thought it was too vague, or it was too foreign, or it was too wishy-washy, too faddy or trendy. So those guys were kind of sitting over on the sidelines grousing about everything for the first couple of years of Emerson's career. This, however, is the address that really got the Unitarian establishment and the intellectual establishment in New England all fired up. This thing really got some very, very negative, angry responses. And part of it has to do with the way it was set up. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a graduate of the Harvard Divinity School. And based on the success of his recent book and his popular speaking engagements and the Phi Beta Kappa lecture the year before, he was invited by the students of the Divinity School to be their speaker at the Divinity School's annual graduation ceremony. Now, look, if you're a student, you're rooting for the students in Emerson. You say, yeah, we ought to be able to invite any speaker we want to. You know, screw the establishment. If you're a school administrator, you're freaking out once you find out what this guy opens his mouth and starts saying, because essentially what he's telling the students at this graduation speech or occasion is, your professors just wasted 2 years of your time. They didn't teach you squat, and you should have saved your money and stayed at home. This is just not a popular message with the alumni, with the faculty, with the staff and the administration. You guys just wasted 2 years of your life studying stuff that you didn't need to go to college to learn. But that basically, in a nutshell, you could do worse than claim that in the nutshell is its theme. The students who were present were really excited and interested by this presentation. He was kind of this rising literary star. Everybody was talking about Emerson. Everybody's reading him. Everybody's swapping books from Emerson in lectures. The faculty administrators kind of knew who he was, didn't object to his being invited, but once he got there and they heard what he was saying, they were absolutely appalled. The address he made resulted in this storm of controversy, and the result of this is that Emerson was really and truly unofficially banned from speaking at Harvard for many, many years. Later in his career, of course, after everybody looks back after several decades and said, oh, Emerson's the great writer, the great philosopher, the father of modern American literature in their day and age, he's invited back to Harvard. Everybody pats him on the back, shakes his hand, says sorry. The Harvard establishment says, hey, we can hardly ignore an alumnus this famous. So they kind of greet him and welcome him back. And Emerson was a pretty good sport about it. Also, by about that time, he was beginning to develop Alzheimer's and probably didn't remember a whole lot about his earlier career, to be truthful. Sad as that is, it certainly is what happened. This piece, more than any other, really served as an indictment of Unitarianism, American education, Enlightenment philosophy, and it inspired a whole generation of religious, artistic, philosophical, and literary radicals. James Freeman Clarke, all those guys who come out and say, yeah, right on. This is what we believe, and one of the things that they said was, this is kind of a declaration of our beliefs, our radical religious beliefs. And we've been thinking all this time, but it took Emerson to actually put it into words. If Emerson's American